देशतारिणे हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधाकान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि और भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. I welcome you all for the second part of our first day, and I hope you all everyone enjoyed a lot. अभी घर बोलो।
बट मुझे निकल आ रहा है। हाँ आपका फ़ोन निकल आएगा उससे कवर नहीं है ना तो इसलिए थोड़ा नीचे
Taking the blessings of all my seniors, just trying to share what I have learned
सर दिख रहा है
from all my superiors. I would like to share few qualities of devotees and share means I have taken pastimes and more of examples so that we can understand that quality better. And like what I feel is whenever we come into such a gathering, like when we go, like this is a trip for everyone. So I had already said to my girls that when you all go back home, you all should not feel that yes we enjoyed, because already like if you go for some material trip or something, when you come back you say we enjoyed. But when you all go for a Krishna conscious yatra or a camp or a trip, one thing should be when you all go back, you all should feel like like I have got so much of inspiration to change. And second thing, you all should feel like I want to chant. Means you all should gain some. Obviously we are not so pure that we'll be feeling like chanting more and more and my taste has increased. That obviously will never come, but to some extent there should be some improvement in chanting. Inspiration, taste in chanting. अगर ये दोनों नहीं हुआ है, then it was just some material trip you all had for the sake of enjoyment. Okay, so we keep these classes so that you all gain some inspiration and you all know that in application based we have to increase our taste in chanting. Means quality of chanting should be improved. Okay, so here we are taking these qualities for that purpose. So here we have apramatta, which means a devotee is not influenced by Lord's illusory energy. When I say illusory energy, the word illusion itself says that we are talking about this material world. This material world is a place of illusion. Okay, so whatever happens here, it is simply illusion. So you all just for 10 seconds, you all think from morning we have come. So what are the factors which have affected you all? You all were literally influenced by those factors. One thing I'll say, means I myself was a part of it. Every time we were getting up and taking water, it happened. Like we were not able to control that thirst. Okay, so we were affected by one illusory energy. Anything more like that? और कुछ लेक्चर ज़्यादा देर तक हम लोग नहीं सुन पा रहे थे. फर्स्ट हाफ में ऐसा लग रहा था कि कब ख़त्म हो जाएगा, राइट? एनीथिंग मोर देन दैट?
We are avoiding quotes.
We are avoiding
Quotes. We are
not in
avoiding
a positive way. I'm not talking in a positive way.
Unable to avoid.
Means this illusory energy around, like the heat, the thirst, they're easily affecting us. right? If we are going out, we are not able to stay along. The cows are for so much time in the heat, but we cannot be. We are getting easily affected, right? So Maya Devi, it said that, Maya Devi is over here and Krishna is over here. Krishna will say chant and Maya Devi will say don't. So we are more affected by this side than by this side. सो इल्यूजरी एनर्जी का जो पोटेंसी पावर जो है वो अपने पे बहुत ज़्यादा है एंड वी आर एक्चुअली कम्प्लीटली इन इल्यूजन 24/7 we are in illusion. But pure devotees of the Lord, they are not at all influenced by illusory energy of the Lord. Only and only because they are completely absorbed in the pastimes and glorification and the form of the Lord. And we are not in that state. सुबह से हम लोग इतना सुन रहे बट हाउ मेनी टाइम्स डिड वी थिंक ऑफ कृष्णा? आई डिड नॉट थिंक. How many of us means we were completely meditating? Yeah, yes, Adi, thank you. Be, yes, please, if someone. But I myself, I was like, focusing more of अभी इसके बाद क्या होगा, कौन सा प्रोग्राम लेना है, क्या करना है. I was not thinking about Krishna. Obviously, I was in some part of seva only, but not in that pure form, maybe some personal basis or something. So pure devotees of the Lord, they are completely always thinking about Krishna in some way or the other, some form or the other, in some service or the other. They just want to please Krishna, serve Krishna's devotees, do something or the other. Obviously, many of you all were doing that. I could see that. You all could always remember, your mentors are observing you all. So we could see that, how wonderfully you all were a part of it. But this level is something very different. We'll see through different examples. Not affected by honor or dishonor. Okay, we generally get affected by this very fast. Okay, honor means अगर कुछ नहीं means they are not giving us any honor, it's okay. But dishonor, like ऐसे क्यों हुआ? Why me? Means why did you do like this to me? Very fast. Our response is very fast. We cannot take up dishonor in any case. But I'll give you one example. How many know Parikshit Maharaj? All know, right? Right? Parikshit Maharaj got a curse. By whom? Some Rishi's son. Shringi. Was Shringi cursed? He'll die in 7 days. So what Parikshit Maharaj did? Accepted. उसके बाद क्या किया? भागवतम के पहले क्या किया? Went in search. Okay. कहाँ गए? Banks of Ganga. Yeah. Okay. So then who came? All the Rishi Munis came first. All the sages came. Big tapasvis, Rishi Munis, even Narad Muni, Vyasdev were present over there. Then who appeared on the stage? Shukdev Goswami, yes. So when Shukdev Goswami was coming, before coming to that arena, okay, when Shukdev Goswami was approaching, first of all, Shukdev Goswami is completely on the transcendental platform, not at all influenced by Lord's illusory energy. He was not wearing anything. Okay, so when he was coming, some ladies were taking a bath in the river. And like when Shukdev Goswami was passing, they didn't bother to cover themselves because they knew that Shukdev Goswami does not discriminate between men and women. He is completely on the transcendental platform. But Vyasdev was coming from behind Shukdev Goswami. So when Vyasdev came, they all covered themselves. So Vyasdev was, he's such a young boy and you all are not bothered, and I'm such an old man and you all are covering yourselves. So then they said that you know what is the difference between both the sex, but he does not know. He is beyond that platform. So that is one thing. He is not affected by gender. I wrote it second point, not affected by gender. Then comes to honor and dishonor. When Shukdev Goswami was coming, people like small kids and village women or some women who did not knew that he was on the elevated platform, they were all running behind him. Some were even throwing stones, joking, laughing. But it did not affect Shukdev Goswami. And when he came to that arena, all the Rishi Munis, they stood up. Even Vyasdev, Naramuni, everyone stood up. And they offered him the seat to speak Srimad Bhagavatam. And he just came and sat. Now this was honor. It did not affect him a bit. Just 2 minutes back there was dishonor. And after immediately 2 minutes there was honor. Now if suppose any one of the Rishi Munis would also feel that, why not me? I could also have spoken Bhagavatam means I'm also equally qualified, I know all the Shastras and all. इतने सारे ऋषि मुनि थे, अगर किसी एक को भी लगता तो सब में इतना झगड़ा होता है कि भागवत सप्ताह ही कभी नहीं होता. But they all knew that Shukdev Goswami was on the elevated platform. He was not affected by the illusory energy of the Lord, and that's why Shukdev Goswami was chosen to speak Srimad Bhagavatam. That is one thing. And even Parikshit Maharaj, he heard Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days and 7 nights without eating and drinking. You can understand, try to always, when you hear any pastime, try to analyze from your point of view. We couldn't stop ourselves from drinking water for half a day also. और वो हाफ डे में भी हम लोग ने 10 बार पिया हो. So this difference is because of the absorption in hearing, in speaking, in chanting. ये जो नवविधा भक्ति है उसमें हम लोग का absorption कितना है, that we ourselves can analyze. It is not there, and that's why we are easily affected by the illusory energy. Means कुछ भी हो जाता है ना, हम लोग बहुत जल्दी affect हो जाते हैं. Why? Because वो absorption नहीं है. How many sit here, I want to hear, sometimes, when I hear Srimad Bhagavatam class, like recently, I had heard Radha Gopinath Prabhuji, I hear ISKCON Chopati Bhagavatam class in the morning. So sometimes if speaker is like Gaurang Prabhu or Radha Gopinath Prabhu, I literally open up my ears because I feel each and every statement which they speak is a relation. Sometimes I go rewind and hear the whole class. So first of all we have to gain that taste कि मुझे सुनना है. I want to hear, I want to understand, I really want to relish it. Unless and until we don't have that, we are not going to relish it. And one thing, like Radha Gopinath Prabhuji says, that if the one who is hearing is sincere, and if the person who is speaking the words of the parampara, and if the situation is favorable, then transformation is guaranteed. And we are here for that transformation. So we have to take it in that. Okay? Not affected by gender is Shukdev Goswami again. Not affected by seasons. I can say about how many know Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Like if you have read Srila Prabhupada's purports, Srila Prabhupada always writes, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary says like this. Anybody has seen? Like Srila Prabhupada will always write, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti has quoted, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given beautiful commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's Guru Maharaj had said him to write commentaries on Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur took it as his life and soul, even to such an extent that he did not go back to his wife. for many days. And one of the disciples of his Guru Maharaj, they came back and said he actually left his wife for this service and he has not gone back. So then his Guru Maharaj said, please go and meet your wife and come. Means you cannot leave her like that. So again, to follow the orders of spiritual master, he went to meet his wife. But then over there also the whole day was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. He actually transformed her, convinced her, and he came back. So then, even whatever place he would get, he would sit. So one day he sat under a tree, like he was not getting any suitable place. So he just sat down under a tree. And he was so much completely absorbed that there was a heavy rain that day and not even a single drop touched him. And he was just translating and writing down his commentaries. So one king was passing by in the palanquin, and that king was amazed to see the situation, like completely dry around him, and he's just writing. So the king got down off the palanquin and he felt this person is really a great Mahatma, and the king came in front of him and paid obeisances. This also did not affect Vishwanath Chakravarti. It did not lift his head. He was so completely absorbed in his service. The king paid obeisances and left. He understood, I cannot disturb this person. So not affected by seasons, whether it is heat or rainy or winter. If you are completely absorbed, then nothing can affect you in this illusory energy of the world. Nothing can affect you. It may rain or whatever, like Krishna will provide such situations that everything goes favorable for you. That is what. Not affected by place. So over here, like if you take Arjuna, right? He went to the Indralok. Everyone knows this, right? He went up till the Indralok to meet Indra and spend some time with Indra because Indra was his father. So when he went there, Urvashi was very much, she got attracted to Arjun. And she said, I want to spend time with you. What did Arjun say? Anybody can say it?
You are like my mother.
You are like my mother.
You are like my mother because Indra is my father. So now this is not an easy thing. Remember, if Urvashi will come down here, we being girls will also get attracted to her. She will be so beautiful. Heavenly damsels are very, very, very beautiful, and that's why they are there. It is not an easy thing. But Arjuna was not at all affected. He said, you are my mother. So easily he said it. So you can understand, like even after going, like it is said, if you go to the heavenly planets, then there is so much of enjoyment that there will be no time for you all to remember the Lord. So it's very risky. Means those who do a lot of pious deeds, they go to the heavenly planets. So if you are like the outside people, they say कि अच्छा काम तो कर रहे हैं ना, बुरा तो नहीं कर रहे हैं ना, कुछ चैरिटी कर रहे हैं, दान कर रहे हैं, अन्नदान कर रहे हैं, कुछ भी कर रहे हैं दिल से. So then for them they feel कि we are doing all nice, so we'll go to स्वर्ग और स्वर्ग ही जाना हम लोग को. But mind it, never go to स्वर्ग. Full of intoxication. यहाँ पे इन लोग वाइन शॉप्स में पीते हैं ना, वो हायर लेवल का उन लोग ऊपर पीते हैं. Completely intoxicated, only in the mood of enjoyment. There is no chance to remember the Lord, serve the Lord. कुछ भी नहीं है वहाँ. क्यों enjoyment? क्योंकि यहाँ पे इतना अच्छा काम किया है ना, तब enjoy करो. मगर वो enjoyment में भगवान को भूल जाएंगे तो मतलब नहीं है. Right? So Arjuna, he got an opportunity to go to heavenly planets, but he was not affected because he was so close to Krishna. Yeah. And like in every topic, I have taken a female personality. So for not affected by place, I have taken Sita Devi, because when she was in palace, she was happy to be with Lord Ram, and when she went to the forest also, she was happy to be with Lord Ram. Like Lord Ram, he said, when Kaikai she gave that curse, means she said, I want these things to happen, Lord Ram agreed. So first, Lord Ram went to Sita Devi and said, Ki see, like, I'm going to the forest, but this is only for me. You don't need to go through all this. अभी suppose कोई husband अपने wife के पास जाके बोलेगा कि means I have got this punishment and you are my better half, so you have also to suffer that punishment. So what the wife will say, why I should suffer? So Ram, very lovingly said Sita Devi that this is something which I have got. So y'all, I think this will work. Hare Krishna, yeah. So then Lord Ram said, Ki see Sita, I have got this curse. It is not your part. Okay, you have been very nicely taken care by Janak Maharaj, and you have full right to be over here in the palace. You have not been given this thing. You be over here nicely. Everyone is there. Take care of the mothers and be over here. I'll go and come. So she was like, it's impossible. Like in today's world, we'll say कि you go. If our husband will say कि मैं अहमदाबाद 2 दिन जाके आऊँगा, तुम जाके आ जाओ, मैं बच्चों के साथ इधर ही रह जाऊँगी. It's very natural. अभी तो ऐसे हुआ है. Like मैं मैके जाके आ जाऊँगी 2 दिन. I'll go to my mother's place. You go for your work. But then Sita said no. Sita Devi, when she was at her own, like मम्मी का जो house है जनक महाराज के place पे, she never kept her foot where there were no flower petals on the ground. Means she walked only on flower petals. Now the same Sita is ready to walk on thorns. Just and just for the pleasure of Lord. So like wherever you are, I'll be happy there. Whether it is palace or whether it is forest or whatever it is. But I'll be with you. That was what Sita said. Now this also we take it very easily. Like all these aspects, there is a very deep reality within which we have to understand, and we have to get connected to that aspect. Then only we'll understand, and some transformation will take some place in ourselves. But Sita, he was banished and they both went 14 years. 14 years is not an easy job. Now over here only if we see कितने जन बाहर रात को निकलेंगे. Afternoon, how many will go through these trees? Will not go. कभी सांप आ गया तो will not go, will not take that risk. But for 14 years you stay in the forest, whether it is dark, whether it is sun, whether it's moon or whatever it is, and you have to just eat some roots, shrubs, herbs. No Manchuria, no noodles, कुछ भी नहीं है. कैसे रहेंगे? Right? So Sita Devi was not at all affected by all these aspects. I want a timer. Anybody has a stopwatch or something? So Shukdev Goswami, see this photo. The girls in the river taking a bath, and Vyasdev coming from back. When they see Vyasdev, they try to cover themselves. What happened?
It got minimized.
Yeah. किसी पास टाइमर है क्या? मुझे टाइम दिखाइए. What time I started? 5:45.
5:40. Now it's 6. 20.
5:45.
25 minutes done.
1 hour कितना होता है? 6:45. Total 7 घंटे. Yeah, Sita Devi in forest and in palace. Wherever she is, she's at. दिखाओ किससे?
Yes, ma'am.
very slow. This one. Yeah, so Shukdev Goswami, when he's passing by, the ladies are not bothered, but when Vyasadev is coming from behind, they cover themselves. So this was about, what we were talking, not affected by. Yeah, so overall, like, there are many things, like, not affected by desires, not affected by sense gratification and all. So sense control, no material desires are going to be taken by other speakers, so I did not add them over here. I just covered like not affected by fame, dishonor, honor, then whatever place it is, whatever seasons it is, whatever situation it is, they are not affected by time, place and circumstances in overall. Whatever situation is, they are absorbed in just serving the Lord, pleasing the Lord, meditating on the Lord, like that. Next is respect. Now there are two aspects, two qualities are combined together. One is, you should always be respectful to others, giving respect, manada. And amani means not expecting respect in return. Okay? So generally in this material world, what is the thing, In this material world, we always hear this common statement, give respect and take respect. The first aspect is give respect. The second aspect is take respect. Means what is their notion? You first give me respect, then I'll respect you. If you don't respect me, then I'm not going to respect you. Just say, now you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. This is a whole thing which is running in this material world. अगर किसी से कुछ काम करवाना है तो उनके साथ अच्छा रहना पड़ता है. अच्छा नहीं रहोगे तो काम नहीं होने वाला है. So everything is like business. सामने से hello boss, how are you, good morning. Once you go into the cabin, you will just go through like anything. So that respect is of no use. Okay? So, but in the spiritual world, give respect but expect nothing in return. Why it is like this? Who will say me?
Because they are on transcendental platform. They know that Krishna is the enjoyer.
Yes, one thing, Krishna is the enjoyer and I am to be enjoyed.
We are served in the finance.
We should see all as part and parcels of Krishna.
We are servants of the Lord.
Yeah, she's giving you respect, please take it.
There is no ego in the spiritual world.
There's no ego in the spiritual world. Now
Yes,
let me
sir.
make you understand. Yes. So one thing you have to understand, we all learn in device and our basic concepts that our soul is covered by a subtle body, and on that subtle body we have a gross body. Okay. So gross body is made up of five elements. What are they? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Yeah. And what are the three subtle?
Mind, ego.
Mind, intelligence and ego. So when they are covered by the illusory energy, we call it as false ego. And when you are connected to the spiritual energy, we call it as true ego. And true ego is, we are servants of the servants of the servants of the Lord. So ego is there. Ego is our identity. Ego means our identity. So when you say that I am Sarita, then that is false ego. But when I say I am servant of servant of servant of you, then that is true ego. That is the thing we have to understand. So over here, spiritual world says you always give respect to others. You don't expect anything in return. Why it is like that? Because we know that this person is dearer to Krishna. And if I serve this person, then Krishna is pleased. So our ultimate goal is to please Krishna. Our ultimate goal is not to get pleased. Right? In the material world, what is happening is everyone is self-centered. I want the pleasure. I want the enjoyment. So if somebody is not giving me that enjoyment or pleasure or respect or something, we get disappointed, and that leads to frustration. But in the spiritual world, like I can say, oh God, okay, be careful, you know. Yeah. In the spiritual world, like there are cuckoos singing. Okay, the parrots, the cuckoos, the peacocks. They are so beautifully singing the glories of the Lord. Okay, suppose one bee comes and you know it will do near your ear. तो कैसा होगा वो? Very irritating, right? पूरा concentration क्लास के ऊपर से वो बी पे चला जाएगा कि somehow get rid of them. I just want to get rid of this bee. But in the spiritual world, when the cuckoos and the peacocks and you know all are blissfully glorifying, and when they just hear a bee humming, they all stop, and then they hear to they just open up their ears to hear what the bee is singing in the glorification of the Lord. So that is the beauty of the spiritual world. Give respect. They don't expect कि अरे ये bee कहाँ से बीच में आ गया? Means I'm a peacock, I'm singing so beautifully for the Lord. From where this bee came in between? It's not like that. Whatever, in all aspects, many aspects are there. I'm just taking one aspect. So like, you know, even when the bee is humming, they will all stop and give respect, the opportunity to the bee that, you know, we all want to hear you. So that is something, you know, in the spiritual world which takes place. Giving respect, not expecting in return. So now this word respect, it comes from the Latin word spectare. Simran, what are you wearing? Specs. So specs means to look. And re means re-look, look again. So respect means, like, you know, what happens generally when we take someone very casually. So if the person says anything, for example, our parents have said something to us, we will not re-look the statement, what it was. We'll immediately react. And there we lose respect for them. So it's very important, whoever it is, whether it's your junior, your senior or whatever, something goes in your ears, you just react, you don't respond. There's a lot of difference between the reacting and responding. So you know, how is it possible? How could you say me that? Means अपना ego इतना hurt हो जाता है, false ego, that we don't re-look the statement. We don't rethink about that statement. We just react. That is a thing which is happening in this generation. They're losing their respect for everyone. Everyone, read everyone. You take anything in your list, I can guarantee you're losing that respect for that, whether it's for teachers, your parents, your sisters, brothers, office boss or whoever it is, office colleague. किसी के लिए भी नहीं बचा, husband नहीं है, there's no respect. Why? Because we have become self-centered. We are just expecting respect. और जब अपने वो desires fulfill नहीं होते, and you know whatever is there, we are not being paid respect anyhow, means we are not being considered, that's it. So means then you are nothing for me. You first give me respect, then I'll respect you. My mother-in-law is, you know, is not taking care of me, so why I should take care of her? Simple. That is what is happening. Give respect and take respect. Monopoly अपने सिर में है ना, बैठ गया. It's there over here. First you give me respect, then I'll give you respect. When we go after marriage also, when we enter Grahast ashram, like, you know, we are like, I'm ready, you know, to serve my husband, my mother-in-law. his brother, his sister, they are like everything for me. But when you go, like, mummy, they don't consider me, mummy, like, they're always in their own world, and they like each other, they don't like me. So how can I serve them? I'm not able to serve them. Mummy, मुझे ना अलग रहना, mummy, please. I want to stay. I'm not able to. Means मैं कितना कर रही हूँ, मुझे कोई consideration ही नहीं देता, कोई appreciate ही नहीं करता. हो रहा है ऐसा? ऐसा हो रहा है क्या? Any married? Yes, na? Like if whatever we are doing, it is not being considered. We feel कि no, Baba, I'm not happy. I want my own happiness. मेरा भी तो कुछ life है. Obviously, I don't say that you completely give up on that. We should have our own life, not at the cost of respect, not giving respect. So, like, we have to understand whatever may be the situation, they are our elders. So, we'll take some examples. Actually, I should have put a statement with the pictures. Yeah, obviously, like, now this shloka, mind it, by heart it by the end of the camp, because it will always come. Trinadapi shunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahara. So I took this because we have amanina manadena. Give respect and expect nothing in return. Okay? This aspect is very, very, very important. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, only if you are humble, then a blade of grass. If you are tolerant, then a tree. If you give respect but you will not expect anything in return, then you will be able to chant your rounds like Kirtaniya Sadhara. You'll just become Kirtaniya Sadhara. But for becoming that Kirtaniya Sadhari, you have to pass these stages. वरना तो कीर्तनिया 1 घंटा 2 घंटा 4 माला 6 माला 8 माला ऐसे ही होने वाला, और वो भी कीर्तनिया नहीं रहता. So obviously we need to have respect towards parents. So like early in the morning, Michela Radha Mataji has already covered it. Like Lord Ram, how respectful he was towards Dashrath Maharaj, Kaikai, whatever was the situation, whatever happened in the background, whatever happened between Kaikai and Dashrath Maharaj, he was not bothered. Did it happen that Lord Ram took Dashrath Maharaj in another, like the palace was very big, तो किसी एक भवन में लेके गए, बोले कि आपने क्या प्रॉमिस किया था कैकेयी माता को? Did he ask? Will we ask? Yes, we will ask. First of all, tell me, what did you promise? And why did you promise? And why me? दूसरे भी तो भाई हैं वहाँ पे, right? But Lord Ram did not ask a word. Next day is coronation. Like next day you are going to get a visa for Singapore or America or something, right? And just one day before you are set to go to the forest. Not also that for 1 month or 2 months, 14 years. And Lord Ram did not speak a single word. It's not so easy. Means how much immense respect is there in his dealings. Okay, so Kaikai completely banished him to the forest. But she was like, mother, whatever you say, it's fine for me. So that is Lord Ram. Then respect towards husband, very important. This is a most important aspect for you all. Please remember, you all are going to enter Grahastha Ashram one day. Many maybe over here a part of the Grahastha Ashram. Like in the earlier days, let me make it clear. Now you may feel, arey wo to old generation tha. In the earlier days, obviously they would be with their pallu or something. They would never look up. They would never have eye-to-eye contact. They would never take the name of their husband. This is still today existing. Like I tell Prabhuji, like only if anybody will ask, I only take his name, but Never directly. Like, even my Prabhuji will not like, if I'll talk like, anything like, in Telugu we say, na, ఇది కడిగ్రు, like, ఇది ఏంది, means something, it comes, ends with A, we end with Ray or A or something, he'll never like that language. He will immediately say me, what did you say now? So I'll immediately rectify that. So I'll repeat in a nice manner. That thing will save your marriage, I can say that. Husbands expect a respect. Remember that, and that's very natural. You are going to their house, they are not coming to your house. Remember that. You cannot just land up into anyone's house, and you cannot just behave any way, any kind with them or their family. And what you say, I left everything and I came. You always see from your point of view, but you don't see that they have accepted someone who is not a part of their family. We never see from that point of view. We always see, मैं पूरा, means you are ready. जब भी झगड़ा होता है, we are ready with this statement. I left everything and came for you. Always remember, you have done it for your own selves. You married because you all wanted to get married. You married because you all wanted a husband. Okay, so never ever say that, I came for you, I left for you. You wanted because your parents wanted to get married. Right? So never say that statement. They have that respect for you. You maintain that respect for the whole lifetime. It is said that you respect, like one of the Matajis from ISKCON Chopati, like when she got married, like she was dealing with her mother-in-law as if her mother-in-law is some president or prime minister. Mummy, idhar baith jao. Mummy, means like, each and every step she was like, Mummy, please, Mummy, take this, Mummy, like mother-in-law. Her mother-in-law was so pleased, like, for the whole lifetime, kuch bhi karne se. You are free to do that. So give them that respect which they owe. Like, a mother-in-law, she has raised her son. It's her son, he's her son. So obviously if someone will land up, obviously she'll have some ego clashes or some that insecurity or something that's natural. And what you expect, now he's mine. Arey kab kaise ho gaya? Now he's mine means what? You'll just place a statement in front of your husband. Think, your mom or me? Doesn't make sense. Why him on a toss? Why do you put him in that position? Whether he has to think whether it's my mother. Obviously, for him his mother is equally important as you are. He loves you. Never keep him in that situation. Whatever he says, accept it. Obviously not to an extent where he is abusing or violating you. Obviously we don't go to that extent. पहले के ज़माने में फिर भी मारते थे या एकदम बिल्कुल ही परवाह नहीं. But it's not like nowadays. Everyone is educated and all. So obviously mother-in-law और daughter-in-law के बीच में भी ऐसे तेल विल डाल के केरोसिन डाल के जला रहे, ऐसा कुछ हो रहा है क्या? कोई ऐसा कभी सुन रहे क्या? No, there are only ego clashes now. It's only about ego clashes. Nothing more than that. I've never heard about like violence or anything like that. Only ego clashes. So I think we should learn to handle them. If we say that we are, Vaishnavas, devotees or ऐसा कुछ भी बोलते हैं, तो फिर सीखो. Try to learn all these aspects. Try to handle them. Obviously at the cost of sometimes you'll cry. Sometimes you won't be able to take it. But then you should always think it from a higher platform. Krishna has placed me in this situation. If I try to escape this karma, then some way, somehow it will again come to me in some other way. Means अगर इस husband को छोड़ दिया तो फिर दूसरे husband से फिर वो karma आना ही है, because karma will never leave you. So it's my own karma. If I'm facing something, if I'm not happy. Like I can say, my sister, she got us in Krishna consciousness. And we were like, like for 1 year or 2 years, we were like trying to see a devotee marriage proposal for her, for in Hyderabad, in Pune, in Mumbai, everywhere. But we never got like, and then she gave up. She married a non-devotee. And I would always pray to Gopinath, please, I can manage. Even if I get a non-devotee, I'll turn him into devotee, But my sister, she's so like very simple and all. She won't be able to do that. Please give her a devotee. But she did not get a devotee, and I got a devotee. Later I realized why it happened. Because I feel in what situation she is, only she can go through that situation. If I would have been in that situation, I would have given him a divorce. I wouldn't be. Like they eat non-veg every day. They drink every day. And like when he drinks, anything he'll speak. She'll call me, please find a lawyer. And I'll say, cool down, cool down. So it's very difficult, it's not so easy. But she is going through it. Only because of Guru Maharaj, I can say. And for my parents. So, like today's generation is not able to take it up. Why it's not able to take it up? Because we don't follow these principles. We don't know only what it means respect and all. We have to respect our elders. We have to respect our seniors. We have to respect our husband. You give him that respect, one day he will change, I feel. Wait patiently. He will change. Only to an extent, like it's too much, too extreme, abusing, violating and all. Then you can talk to your mentors, counselors, Bhakti-rich leaders, and you can even, I feel, you can leave that person. If you're not at all able to continue with your Krishna consciousness or something like that, it's really affecting, you're not able to chant or something, and it's too difficult. Means it's beyond ego clashes. If it's only ego clashes, then I think we should take up. Because then it's the problem of our own ego. So we have to work over it. We are over here in this process for purification. Remember that. Purification means completely burning your ego. So वह ऐसे ही नहीं हो जाने वाला, इतना easy नहीं है. So whatever happens in our life, it's purifying us, purifying us, purifying us. Always remember, when you turn a screw into some machine or something, earlier it's very easy, right? But then it tightens up. But when it will tighten up? No. When it goes close. Yes. So earlier in Krishna consciousness बहुत अच्छा लगता है. Very nice. But then the screw starts tightening up. And then you will feel ki why it's happening with me? Because you're going closer to Krishna. So your egos and all are getting burned. You are getting purified. Remember that. So in this purification process, all these principles need to be followed. My Guru Maharaj says, when there's a situation which you're not able to handle, and if you take a proper decision in that situation, then you advance. You immediately shoot up. So we have to remember these principles. ये सब ऐसे नोटबुक में लिखने के लिए नहीं है. जब वो situation आता है, इनको याद करो. हाँ माताजी ने ऐसे बोला. And when you take it properly, you immediately advance. And every step should be towards advancement. So difficulties will come, but at the same time purification will happen if you follow these principles. And then respect towards elders, I can say yes, I'll go through the slides and see. So this is about Mata Kaikai. Yeah, this is about Yudhishthira Maharaj taking blessings from elders. Yeah, like I can say, the best part, like Yudhishthira Maharaj was always very respectful. Very, very respectful. But you can imagine when he is in the battlefield. And all the Kauravas and Bhishma Pitama and Dronacharya, Kripacharya, everyone is on the opposite side. Remember that. They are there to kill you. Even in that stage, Yudhishthir Maharaj goes to everyone and pays obeisances, takes their blessings and says, ki please bless me and give me that intelligence. Like, how can I kill you? Please tell me, how can I kill you? And you know, like the Dronacharya, Bhishma Pitama and all, they bless him, Ayushman Bhav. Means they are accepting the fact that they will be killed. So like, you know, it is not that easy for Yudhishthir Maharaj. It's not easy for him at any cost. Like, you know, हम लोग जिनसे हम लोग लड़ने वाले और जो हमें मारने वाले और हम लोग उनको मारने वाले will not go and bow down in front of them at any cost. At least at that stage, we are not going to give them any respect. Are you all going to go and stand near the Pakistan border and say them, please? We are not going to. दिखता ही था just immediately kill them. But you know, Yudhishthir Maharaj, he immediately first went there. He paid his obeisances, he took their blessings, and then he came back. So that is about Yudhishthir Maharaj. Yeah. Over here now, we take this thing in terms of Duryodhana, we see how he disrespected Vidura and how Yudhishthir Maharaj, he respects Vidura. So when they decide for this Mahabharat war and all, so Vidura is one. Okay, the most wisest person in the whole Sabha is Vidura. So when Vidura goes and says, Duryodhana, please think twice, don't do this, the whole of Hastinapur will be destroyed because of your immature decision. Don't do it. So what did he say? What did Duryodhana say?
You are just a means.
Yes, you are Dasi Putra. Who are you to tell me? Means मेरे पिताजी के टुकड़ों पे पलने वाले type. That was the words he used. Just get lost. Vidura was actually feeling compassionate over Duryodhana. Duryodhana, what can I do for you? You also go. I cannot do anything for you. Vidura left. Vidura was the only person, yes, Balramji. These were the only people who were not there for the Kurukshetra war. Vidura was one because he did not want to see the whole of Hastinapur getting destroyed. And Balramji, for him, Duryodhana and Bhim both were same. So he also said, I am not going to take part on anyone's side, so I am also leaving. So they both went for yatras. Nice yatras they did. So after the Kurukshetra war, when Vidura came back, so obviously all the Kauravas were dead. So who were left? Pandavas. So that time when Vidura came, so Yudhishthir Maharaj received him with respect. Now Vidura is a great Vaishnava. So what does Yudhishthir Maharaj says? Bhavad Vida Bhagavatas Tirtha Bhuta Swayam Vibho Tirthi Kurvanti Tirthani Swanta Stena Gada Bhutaha. Like you people are holy, like holy places of pilgrimage yourselves. Like wherever you all will go, it will get turned into a holy place. Why? Because you all carry the Lord in your heart. This is my favorite shloka. Like wherever devotees are there, the place itself gets converted into a holy place because the Lord is present there. So like this is the way, respect. What Duryodhana gave disrespect, you all can imagine. That is very similar to us, like अपने level से कोई छोटा आ जाएगा, and if he'll try to tell us something, like if our juniors will try to come and say us something, we'll say, calm down, you are my junior. It's natural. But Yudhishthir Maharaj was always, now Yudhishthir Maharaj has been appointed as a king now. after the whole war was over, and he was, like appointed, like you are the king, and he accepted after Bhishma Pitama's instructed him everything. Yudhishthira Maharaj accepted the throne, and then there was Rajsu Yajna and all. So when Vidura came, he did not forget that respect. Vidura was also there in the Asat Sabha, but Yudhishthira did not keep that in mind. As soon as Vidura came, he received him with complete respect. So like Vaishnavas, whatever may be the situation, Vaishnavas are Vaishnavas. Never keep anything, grudges or anything bad in your heart for them, because they are carrying Lord in their hearts. Remember that. So have that respect for Vaishnavas. ये गया या Daksha Prajapati and Lord Shiva. Daksha Prajapati, he had arranged some yajna, okay? And all the demigods, they all assembled there for that yajna, along with Brahmaji and Lord Shiva. So since Daksha Prajapati had arranged, he considered himself to be the main person of that yajna. So he came at the last. Obviously the chief guest always comes at the last. So when Daksha Prajapati entered the arena, everyone stood up. Only two people did not stand. Who were they? Yes, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva did not stand. Why Lord Brahma did not stand?
His father.
His father, yes. So when Lord Brahma did not stand, Daksha Prajapati did not mind, because Papa है, ठीक है, चलेगा. But Lord Shiva, कौन है Daksha Prajapati के?
Father-in-law.
Son-in-law, Damaji. He had married Sati. Sati was the daughter of Daksha Prajapati. Now just imagine, the whole world is standing for him, and only one person is not standing. Like same thing happened in Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad. The whole world was praising him except for Prahlad. Right? This Daksha Prajapati could not take up, and he started abusing Lord Shiva like anything. Who are you? I gave my daughter to you. What are you? You just sit in some crematorium ground. You are always covered with ashes, and all ghosts and all this ghost like people are surrounding them. Who are you? Even though you are in this state, I gave my daughter to you. What do you think of yourself? अब ये सब क्यों आया? Ego. Means how come he did not stand for me? That is what ego plays. Like everyone in the house may support you. सासू माँ ने support नहीं किया. How come, how is it possible? I cannot take it up. I cannot take it up. So even if one person is not taking it up, we become so disturbed, so disturbed. So we have to understand, it is simply our ego problem. Now why Lord Shiva did not stand? Who can tell me? Yes, obviously he is always like on meditation, absorbed in the thoughts of the Supreme Lord. It's not that अरे ये तो मेरे ससुर जी है, it's okay. ऐसा नहीं है. That is not. Intention is pure. He had no intention of insulting Daksha, and that's why it did not affect Lord Shiva. He was not bothered. Daksha Prajapati said something, and he cursed Lord Shiva actually, that I'm not going to give you the share of oblation of that yajna, which I'm going to give to other gods. That also did not affect Lord Shiva. That comes in this, it's afterwards, Nandi curses, that Bhrigumuni curses, and the curse goes on, and then Sati hears about this and she goes into fire. That is all different story. But Shiva was not affected. Now Shiva was abused so much. Daksha Prajapati was not abused. वहाँ पे एंग्री होने का सवाल नहीं था. Shiva was abused. Lord Shiva was abused so much. Anger तो हो ही सकते थे ना. it was not affecting him because he was not expecting respect. So when you don't expect anything in return, तो सामने वाला कुछ भी करे ना, क्या फ़र्क पड़ता है? It's okay, fine. मुझे तो फ़र्क पड़ता ही नहीं, then it's okay, fine. We can go with it. If we don't expect, expectations lead to frustrations. Durvasa Muni. Like obviously Amrish Maharaj invited Durvasa Muni, and then Durvasa Muni said, I'll just go and do my achman. But Amrish Maharaj just took water only because he had to break his fast. He had no intention कि मैं Durvasa Muni को बुलाऊंगा और फिर मैं जानबूझ के पानी पीऊंगा, ऐसा कुछ था क्या? नहीं था. There was nothing where Durvasa Muni had to become angry, but only because ego problem. You called me and you're eating before me, huh? ऐसा होता है ना, गेस्ट के घर पे हम लोग जाते हैं, they call us and if they sit and eat, will you get offended or not? Tell me honestly. We will get offended. You called me and you're eating before me. We will tell. अरे मेरे लिए वेट नहीं कर सकते थे, 2 मिनट वेट नहीं कर सकते. So like there was no intention like this. So Durvasa Muni immediately cursed. But what was the result of that curse? We'll not go into details. But like he just brought up some demoniac personality and told to kill Amrish Maharaj. But then Lord Sudarshan Chakra came to protect Amrish Maharaj, and that in turn killed that demon, and that went after Durvasa. And Durvasa had to run in all the 3 worlds. No one, neither Brahma, Shiva, Vishnu, no one could save him. They all said what? Go to Amrish Maharaj. Only he can save you. Now Amrish Maharaj ki come. I am ready. We'll always be ready for that point. aa jao abhi. I'll also show you. Did Amrish Maharaj say like that?
No.
He said, please, I'm nothing. I'm just a servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. You have not done anything. Please, don't ask for forgiveness. And he just was cool enough. Did not affect him anything. He did not expect anything in return. Even imagine अपने पास 3 walls में से भाग के कोई अपने पास आया. Reels are like, oh my God. But it did not affect him an inch because he was not expecting anything in it. Yeah, Devahuti and Kardama. Yeah, this is about respect towards husband. Devahuti was a daughter of Manu, father of mankind. She had everything she had. But then when she was said to marry Kardama Muni, she just respected her parents, she married. Now Kardama Muni was a very great sage, but he was always busy with his yagyas and tapasyas and sacrifice, and in that whole process he neglected Devahuti. And she was just serving and serving. Now she has come from big palace and a great daughter of Manu, Swayambhuva Manu. She lived a very aristocratic life. And over here she is not getting anything. So she is not expecting anything in return. Okay? Only and only when Kardama Muni realized, oh my God, you became so thin just serving me. Please tell me what you want. That time she came up with her desires. She asked for a palace and everything and a son. That time she asked. Till then she served without expectation, expecting nothing in return. So you can imagine what it is. We don't hear this just means सुनने में बहुत अच्छा लगता है, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. Obviously we cannot imitate them. Always remember, never imitate, just try to follow, so that somewhere, at least at some stage, we may be able to apply to some extent in our life. and it may save us to some extent. Yeah, the next one is compassionate. Yeah, we'll do two and then the remaining will be next. So obviously, like in the morning, Mataji was talking about mercy. So compassion and mercy are like, very much closer to each other, going hand in hand. Like, we see, I pity you, हम लोग बोलते हैं, I pity this poor dog, I pity this lady. Pity, what is pity? You're feeling bad for that person. Sympathy मतलब pity is दया दिखाना. Sympathy means you want to become a part of a situation. Compassion means you want to do something for that person. And the best compassionate level is giving Krishna consciousness to that person. Mercy is where someone has done something against you, but still you are forgiving that person. That is the most higher level, which Mataji was quoting in, like, Jaga and Madhai, they tried to hit Nityanand Mahaprabhu, but taking that risk, Nityanand Mahaprabhu tried to deliver Jaga and Madhai, right, like that. So compassionate, devotees of the Lord, they are very, very, very compassionate. They just want to give Krishna consciousness to everyone, like Srila Prabhupada. He just wanted, like at any cost, at any risk, even at that age of 70, after having 2 heart attacks, even in that situation, he just wanted to distribute Krishna consciousness. Before that, let us understand compassion of Krishna. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu. We say, right? Every day we are reciting. कभी सोच के रिसाइट किया है, बस रिसाइट करना है, इसलिए रिसाइट किया है. हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु. So ocean of mercy. Deena Bandhu means friend of the distressed. Jagatpate, the source of creation. Gopesha Gopika Kanta, master of the cows, cowherd men, and the lover of the gopis, especially Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So over here, let us see one beautiful pastime of Lord Krishna. What is the time? I am having only 3 minutes. I'll take 15 more minutes. 1 hour का लगा क्या? 45 minutes. Okay. So 15 minutes I can do. So what happens is, now this is the first day of Krishna going to school. Sandipani Muni Ashram. So like Krishna is going on the chariot. Simultaneously there is someone who is going through the forest, and that is Sudama. So like Sudama is walking, going to Sandipani Muni's ashram, and Krishna is going on the chariot. So when Sudama is walking through the forest, suddenly what happens? A thorn pricks his leg. Govinda, he shouts. And when this word enters, the sound vibration enters the lotus ears of Krishna, Krishna immediately jumps the chariot, comes running to Sudama. मीन्स ऐसे पिक्चरों में दिखाते नहीं, हीरो ऐसे एकदम भाग भाग के आके एकदम ऐसे सुप नीचे एकदम स्लाइड करते हैं. And Krishna holding the leg of Sudama. यहाँ पे ट्विस्ट है. Krishna removes the thorn with his teeth, bending down, not with his hands. He bends down, puts his teeth. Will you ever do that? Like putting your mouth towards the foot of anybody's. Krishna doesn't know Sudama, but just that, Sudama called out for him. So he comes and, he just tries to remove that with his mouth. And then, like Krishna gets up. And then, वहाँ पे फिर introduction होता है कि, I am Krishna, I am Sudama. So, I am going to Sandipani Muni. I am also going. So, we are friends from now. So then, we'll together go together and then they become good friends. But that, this past time I felt, like so merciful Krishna, so merciful. You just call Krishna. He will be there. Only thing is we don't realize. That's the thing. So now, we have to understand if Krishna is compassionate or merciful or whatever you say, devotees are more merciful than Krishna. Like when Krishna came in the form of devotee, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his mercy was causeless. Krishna, at least, in Bhagavad Gita, he says, these are the different types of devotees, these are the different types of people who surrender unto me, who don't surrender unto me, and like you do this, I'll give you bhakti, you offer me this, and then you do it with love and devotion and everything. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, leave everything aside and just take love of God. So that is the mercy of the Lord when he comes as devotee. So devotees are more merciful than the Lord. Now, devotees ki devotees, Nityanand Mahaprabhu, devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, most merciful, magnanimous. Why did Nityanand Mahaprabhu choose Jagai and Madhai? Bolo.
To glorify Lord, to glorify Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes. If the worst, किसी अच्छे को ले लो और उसको भक्ति दे दो, किसी को दिखने वाला है क्या? But you take the most worst person and you transform him. Then everyone will say, this person who transformed him and how did it? I want to go through that situation, means I want to really go through that path. So when Nityanand Mahaprabhu saw Jagai and Madhai, they are the perfect people. If they will get delivered, then the whole world can get delivered. Mind it, these are the words, like his whole intention is to deliver the world. So if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can deliver these people, then everyone will be delivered. So at whatever cost, Haridas Thakur says, you're mad. Don't run after them, they'll kill us. There was a situation where, Jagai and Madhai, they were with pots and Haridas Thakur and Nityanand Mahaprabhu were running away. They ran and they went somewhere where, they cannot be seen by these two drunkards. And then Haridas Thakur, you are going to kill me today, you are really mad. And, Haridas Thakur went to Advaita Acharya, this person is mad, I am not going to preach with that person. And then, Advaita Acharya was, Advaita Acharya laughed. Only a drunkard knows a drunkard. He is drunk in the intoxication of love of Godhead and they are drunk with whatever they are drinking. So, Nityanand Mahaprabhu could go at any cost. He would knock on somebody's door. And then that person would open the door, nobody's there. Arey kaun hai? Niche dekha to Nityanand Mahaprabhu. With a straw in his teeth. Please take Krishna consciousness. Please chant Hare Krishna. Very humble, most merciful. Very, ready to give Krishna consciousness. So when you go to Mayapur, they are there.
Yes.
So please take. Narad Muni, the compassionate representative of the Lord. The only person who does not need visa or passport or anything to go anywhere. Not only in this world. 14 planetary systems will go anywhere. Ready to deliver anyone. So he has got that blessing, he means एक जगह पे से preaching नहीं करना है. You can go anywhere and you can distribute love of Godhead, preach करो, असुरास को भी deliver करो, नल कुबेर मणिग्रीव कंसा हिरण्यकशिपु सबको किया है उसने. So he is the most compassionate representative. या Nityanand Mahaprabhu. नित्यानंद महिमा सिंधु अनंत अपार एकगण स्पर्शी मात्र सही कृपातहार. Only his mercy is enough for us. Srila Prabhupada. How many of you feel that you all can just read the shlokas and you'll understand the whole Bhagavatam, or you'll understand the whole nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion, Bhagavad Gita, whatever it is. श्लोका पढ़ने से समझ में आ जाते. कितने हैं यहाँ पर? No one. But the translations and the purports which Srila Prabhupada has given us, it has become so easy. We can just sit at our home, we can open the books, we can read and something we'll understand. When we come in the association of devotees, पूरी तरह से समझ में आता है. but Srila Prabhupada के book read करने से तो कुछ तो समझ में आ जाता है. Simple English. It's a pura. If you see Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's English, you cannot understand. Like one statement I saw in Brahma Samhita, it was something 6 to 7 lines and there was no full stop in between. Brahma Samhita is translated by Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So I feel ki, my God, thank you Srila Prabhupada. You gave the purpose so easy. We can really understand. When you come to Srimad Bhagavatam, like when I read Srimad Bhagavatam and if I've read a puppet, wow, it means Prabhupada is under the puppy there. So sweet, the puppets are so relishing, Like I feel ki, wow Prabhupada, thank you for making me understand what it was, or else I would have not understood. But Srila Prabhupada sacrificed so much to write those puppets. He would write in the late night hours. He did not want any disturbance. Like कोई fan ऐसा कर रहा है, अभी तक कर रहा था कुछ sound. He would immediately call the security or the watchman and say कि उसको बराबर कर. It is disturbing me. Even if from the tap water, he will call the security कि वो leak हो रहा है, उसे बंद करो, it is disturbing me. He did not expect any disturbance while writing his purports. किसके लिए लिख रहा है वो सब? So are we reading with that surrender towards Srila Prabhupada? We are not reading. We are reading only because या तो साधना चार्ट में भरना है, या तो फिर भक्ति रिच लीडर पूछेंगे कि रीडिंग हुआ क्या, या तो एवरीडे रीडिंग सेशन हो रहा है, तो only for some external basis. We are always affected by illusion energy. So we have to come out of that. We have to read thinking. If you really feel grateful, then you will be able to relish it. Srila Prabhupada has given me this purpose, my God. If you have hunger, then you will be able to relish the food in front of you. तो जबरदस्ती ठूसेंगे, तो we need that hunger, the quest, the thirst. Then only we will be able to relish them. Yeah, sorry. So female personality over here, Draupadi, for giving Ashwadhama. This is so very extent level of being compassionate towards Ashwadhama. Ashwadhama killed all her 5 sons, right? And that also not when they are standing in front ready to fight. When they were sleeping. During sleep. So like no mother will be able to forgive. But all the Pandavas caught hold of Ashwadhama. Chalo mil gaya, ab isko to maar dalna hai. She said, leave him, just leave him, Why she said him to leave?
Because she did not want, because he is Guru Putra. No, because he did not want as a
mother. First of all, he is a Brahmana. Then he is Guru Putra. And then, I don't want Kripi to go through the situation which I went. The extreme level of compassion. हम लोग क्या करेंगे, मैंने फेस किया ना तो वो भी फेस करनी चाहिए. But she was like, no, she should not go through that situation. So she said, just leave it. So extreme level of compassion. Yeah, and one more I would like to share of His Holiness Radhika Swami Maharaj. This struck me only when, all were spending beautiful time with the cows. One time it so happened that, Radhika Maharaj was going with some devotees in BMW car to some Badrinath or somewhere. So when they were going through that roads, through a village, so one cow was running behind the car. So these people, they actually felt afraid. The cow is running. If something happens, the cow can die also if the accident occurs. So they tried to increase the speed of the car so that, somehow the cow will be left behind and the car will go away. But it was trying to run more faster, chasing the cow. So like they were like, और fast ले लो, निकालो, जल्दी निकालो. So like at some point they were able to cross away and the cow was left behind. So like they were, yes, we did it. So like Radhanath Maharaj was very silent and they all saw Radhanath Maharaj. Radhanath Maharaj said, first try to find out why it was following us. So then they stopped the car. They went back to the village and they tried to find out. So they found out that the cow has lost her baby. And some BMW only hit the calf. So whenever it sees a BMW car, she tries to follow, thinking that it is the same BMW car. So then, tears rolled out from Radha Swami's eyes. He went to that cow. And he and that cow, they spent some time together. It was like, there was no conversation, but there was a conversation. The other devotees, they left them far apart. They sat aside. And only these two spent time with each other. He was like, what we say? Solacing that cow for that loss. And then after some time, after half an hour or something, which Radhanath Maharaj pacified the cow, and then they left. The cow never ever followed any BMW again. So Radhanath Swami Maharaj's compassionate nature. So all Prabhupada's disciples all carry that compassionate nature. Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, why is suffering so much? Why is suffering so much? He's just taking all of our sins. He's initiating more and more disciples. When the Guru initiates us, the Guru takes our sins so that we become purified and we can go back to body. But the Guru suffers. We have to understand that. And even after initiation, if we perform any sin, then the Guru will suffer more. So then we become more responsible. At least after initiation, after taking vows, we'll not going to do anything like that. So it's not something simple thing. So like Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, compassionate nature is just initiating everyone, taking everyone's sin and suffering, just because so that they all can go back to work. So there are many examples, but we'll go past. Yeah, like I'll take this one thing and what's the time? What's the other time?
7:03.
Navya Mataji, should I take this one now? Okay, I'll try to wind up fast. Friendship. So when we come to friendship, we all need friends. Everyone. Whichever platform, like small child to a very old age person, everyone needs a friend in life. We all are searching for that one friend. We want that one friend. So there is a difference between when you talk about material friends or spiritual friends. Material friends will help us to pacify you for that situation. Okay, but spiritual friends will make you rise above that situation. Like, they'll bring you to a situation where anytime you get problem, you can solve by yourself. That's very important. They give you Krishna consciousness, they enlighten you with that knowledge by which you yourself can fight that situation. Material friends बोलेंगे चलो आके थोड़ा मूवी देख लेते हैं तो फिर थोड़ा माइंड बेटर हो जाएगा, तो मूवी के लिए जाते हैं, या तो फिर ये पार्क डिस्कोटेक या किधर भी जाते हैं, थोड़ा टाइम स्पेंड करते हैं एंड यू विल चिल आउट, थोड़ा चिल आउट हो जाओ. सो यू विल फील रिलैक्स. Come out of that situation. They'll see only from that perspective, only that situation. वो situation गया तो फिर नया situation आएगा, फिर नया situations will always appear in life. So हर बार ऐसे जाते क्या होता है, बॉयज़ को ड्रग्स, ड्रिंकिंग, सिगरेट स्मोकिंग वो हैबिट हो जाता है. Because any time what happens, they'll go to their friends and their friends will say, यार एक ले ले, कुछ नहीं होता, you will forget, what is going to happen, what's the deal. Like that. So they get habituated. Complete loss. But when you come to the spiritual platform, they'll tell you like, you speak to this mentor, you speak to this counselor. Krishna has said, don't worry, we all are there for you. Don't worry. Something will happen. This strength itself is enough, first of all, on the lower platform. Yes, I have people with me. I have so many with me, so I can fight. That gives you the energy to fight and rise above that situation. That is very important in spiritual friendship. And like we all are like crystals. Crystal में जो दिखता है वो reflect होता है. So what type of friends you have, that will only reflect. So association matters. So when you are with spiritual friends, your spirituality will reflect. So it's very important to have that aspect. Yeah. I have not worn my specs, so someone just read it. Yeah, I'm just putting it. Yeah, somebody please read it. Someone can read it out. नहीं आ
Auntie, we
रहा
don't say.
ओह, तब से नहीं आ रहा था अभी है तब से नहीं है शीला प्रभुपाद का था so I'll just read it out, it's okay.
महतां बहुमानेन दीननाम् अनुकम्पया मैत्र चैवात्मतुल्येषु यामेन नियमेन चैव The pure devotee should execute devotional service by giving the greatest respect to
After the Acharya.
He should be compassionate, and make friendship with persons who are his equals, but all his activities should be executed under regulation and with control of self.
Yeah. So like over here, this is said by Kapila Muni to Devavati, like you know how the level should be. Okay? So like you know you should be always respectful to your spiritual masters and acharyas. Means seniors के साथ friendly behavior नहीं करना है. Remember that. We should not bring them to our level. We should not try to raise up to their level. It will lead to an offense. Keep them in that level only. Make friendship with equals and show compassion to your juniors who are newcomers or whoever is there. So if you consider this aspect, you are properly situated on the spiritual platform. It's very important to maintain this. So this is a thing like how a friendship should be maintained. Yeah. Now Krishna with Arjuna, we all know for Sakhi in Navvidha Bhakti, everyone knows the 9 devotional processes, Navvidha Bhakti. तो इसमें जब साख्यम आता है, we say example is Arjuna. Okay? Now Arjuna also, like the other Pandavas, difference ये था कि Arjun could कंधे पे कंधा डालकर he could walk with Krishna. Krishna could put on his shoulder and Arjun could put on his shoulder. Like Bhima, Yudhishthira and all never did that. They never crossed the boundary of respect. But Arjun did it. Now Arjun, we have to understand, he knew that it's only Krishna. Like even though he is my friend, he is beyond that. Something. So when you make friendship with your equals, you have to understand they are not just your friends. They are something beyond that. They are Vaishnavas. They are devotees of the Lord. So always see from that angle only. Like हाँ बस फ्रेंड है तो कुछ भी बोल दिया, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. ऑब्वियसली मटीरियल एस्पेक्ट में भी नहीं होना चाहिए, स्पिरिचुअल एस्पेक्ट में भी नहीं होना चाहिए. किसी को भी मीन्स कुछ भी बोल दिया बिकॉज एवरीवन हैज़ अ हार्ट, तो किधर हर्ट होते ही है. बट व्हेन यू कम टू डिवोटीज, apart from friendship, always see them as a part and parcel of Krishna also. So that will save you from committing any offense. क्योंकि बहुत जनरल नेचुरली हम लोग कुछ भी कैसे भी बोल देते हैं, तो कभी कभी वो ऑफेंसिव भी हो जाता है. ऑब्वियसली योर फ्रेंड विल नॉट टेक इट इन ऑफेंसिव मैनर, बट यू नेवर नो इट हर्ट्स. So then it will become offense. So first she is part and parcel of Krishna. Like generally when we marry, so we are said first he is the son of his parents, and then he's first he's the son of Krishna, then he's the son of his parents, and then he's your husband. Similar goes for the wife. First she's the daughter of Krishna, then she's the daughter of her parents, then she's your wife. So means third category पे है वो. So if you see from that point of view, you'll maintain that respect. The same goes with your friendship. Even if they are equals, always first see that she's a daughter of Krishna, then she is my friend. So then there's no offense at that stage. So Krishna and Arjun, we all know they were beautiful friends, And like Arjun knew Krishna है तो सब है, Krishna नहीं है तो कुछ भी नहीं है. Like after the war, like during the whole war, he could even kill Bhishma Pitama, Dronacharya, Kripacharya and everything. But when he went to see कुछ तो गड़बड़ है, Yudhishthir Maharaj, something is wrong. Arjun, please go and check. Krishna is there or he left. And Arjun went to check. Krishna already left. So when Arjun was coming, some just coward people, men, they were just harassing the queens, kidnapping the queens, and Arjun could not save them. Arjun realized Krishna is not there. My power, my potency has gone. So he never took him for, taking him for granted. He maintained that aspect. He is my friend, but he is a supreme personality of God. So that has to be maintained in friendship. Yeah, next is, like this is something which I like. After this only one pastime is left, then we know. So like, Narottam Das Thakur and Ramchandra Kaviraj. So Ramchandra Kaviraj is a disciple of Srinivas Acharya. Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur and Shyamananda. These three, they did their Shastrics, they all took initiation from Gopal Bhatta Goswami. They did their Shastrik study under Jiva Goswami. So like Srinivas Acharya and Narottam Das Thakur were very, very beautiful, intimate friends. Okay? So, when Srinivas Acharya, he gave initiation to Ramchandra Kaviraj. Now, Ramchandra Kaviraj is a disciple of Srinivas Acharya. And so, one day Ramchandra Kaviraj heard, Narottam Das Thakur, he had not seen Narottam Das Thakur till then. So, like, Narottam Das Thakur is going to come. That night he did not want to sleep because he had heard so much about Narottam Das Thakur. He literally was, I'll just wait to see that great personality. And, somehow he felt asleep. And then, he saw in his dream, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, saying that, I know how much you're waiting for Narottam Das Thakur. And you both are going to be great friends. So like you got up and did I miss that moment, like Narottam Das Thakur approaching. But then, he went to Srinivas Acharya. And then, he said this to Srinivas Acharya. I got this dream, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said like this. Srinivas Acharya said, yes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said it to me also. So, Narottam Das Thakur is coming, we both very welcome. And then, they both met. And, Narottam Das Thakur and Ramchandra Kaviraj, they became best of friends. Like, Narottam Das Thakur had to arrange a big program where they had to install 6 Vigrahas of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in 6 different places. So, you can imagine, like such a big program it would be. So, then Narottam Das Thakur, so Srinivas Acharya said, you both go together and you arrange everything. So like, they both so intimately spend time together arranging everything. Like at one spot, they was just spending time talking about Krishna pastimes and everything. And they saw 2 men, they were taking away bullocks for, slaughtering. And then Narottam Das Thakur and Ramchandra Kaviraj, no, we cannot allow them to do this. We cannot allow them to go to hell. We have to deliver them. And then they went and, they were like, please don't do that. Please don't do that. And then, like the way they showed compassion, these 2 people changed. And, one took initiation from Narottam Das Thakur and one took initiation from Ramchandra Kaviraj. So beautiful. So like, they had such beautiful, wonderful relationship that, at one instant, Srinivas Acharya had to send Ramchandra Kaviraj for some service. And Ramchandra Kaviraj never came back. So when you sing, how many have sung the song? Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jaya Karo More. So in that last line, Daya Karo Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas Ramachandra Sangha Mage So he's literally crying over there. Ki, oh Srinivas Acharya, please, I beg mercy from you. I want the association. I'm just Ramachandra Sangamagi. I'm just begging you, give me association of Ramachandra. So it's a beautiful, intimate relationship. We have to develop that relationship where we try to help each other. in raising, becoming more closer and closer to Krishna. So yes, I'll just go next. Yeah, I just took this because I wanted to take a female personality like Radha Rani. She was always assisted by the gopis. For what? To serve Krishna. Like whatever Radha Rani desired, Krishna ke liye aaj ye kare. The gopis were ready with that. They never said, why you will only serve. Why we can also serve. Obviously there was other group. Like obviously there were two groups and they also wanted to serve how the way this. But Radha Rani's Sakhis, Lalita Sakhi, Vishaka Sakhi, Tunga Vidya, Sudevi, Champaklata, Ranga Devi, Sudevi, all these Sakhis, they have manjaris under them. Right? So all this is why? Just so that Radha Rani can please Krishna. They never want themselves to be at that place. Now they all are on the same level. Lalita Sakhi is elder to Radha Rani. But she never said, why you? Why not me? I'm elder to you. She never said. She just wanted to assist and fulfill the desire of Radha Rani. Radhe bol kya chahiye? Kya kare? आज कृष्णा के लिए क्या करना है? कान्हा के लिए क्या करना है? They were ready to assist her in any way. And this should be our mood. Like we have to go through. Like you help your friend to serve Radha Rani so that Radha Rani can please Krishna. But our situation is we place ourselves in front. फ्रेंड को तो बाजू में ही भूल जाएंगे. चांस आया. आज क्या हो रहा था? वो रनिंग में क्या हो रहा था? नंबर आया कि नहीं? We were thinking of ourselves. Save ourselves. मुझे अपने आप को बचाना है. कोई भी बचा क्या इधर? दिव्या भी लगाते ही जीती. कोई नहीं जीता. But when we help someone to serve Radha Rani, what Radha Rani will say to Krishna? She did it. So ultimately you will be in the picture. तो तब बच जाओगे. That is guaranteed. So always be in that position. Help your friends. Assist your friends to come up. So automatically हम लोग भी ऊपर आ जाएंगे. It is said that between us and Krishna, how many are there? That much we advance. So servant of the servant of the servant ही होना चाहिए. Direct कभी भी नहीं होना चाहिए. So please try to assist your friends. And take them, they will take you. Okay? So I end my session here. I'm really very sorry I went out of time. So thank you all so much for your patience listening. Please forgive me if I